How's it going, guys? This is America's worst podcast. It was the world's worst podcast, but that's not working out. So this is America's worst podcast. Today we have a special guest, Raul Atondo, former United States Army soldier, currently a student and working, and also a member of the Wounded Warriors Project. Can you give us a little explanation on the Wounded Warriors Project?
Wounded Warrior. I was basically dragged into Wounded Warrior, just being skeptical at first.
Is it like a charity or funding for veterans or wounded veterans or?
It's an organization that helps out with basically the moral. It basically helps with your morale.
It helps boost morale.
Yeah, it totally. I've been in about 3 or 4 events. My best friends AJ and Melissa sent me the kind of the paperwork. I signed up online. It's been a fuzzy 2-3 years since I've been in.
But they actually like do stuff for you.
Yeah, totally. We went to. I've been bowling. We went to a Ford dealership.
Oh wow! And it was all paid for and covered.
It was all paid for. Just
nice.
It's just fun stuff. I went to a dove hunt. That's change. Whoa! I didn't think about that. Went to a dove hunt, bowling, tracks, suspension ropes workout. I got that for free, basically.
That's good. So they help out a lot of people.
They do. It's amazing.
Awesome.
If you're a veteran, you should totally register.
All right. So yeah, if you're a veteran, register. If you want a little bit of the extra goodness.
If you want to just be a little more active, do something more rather than just stay home all the time.
That's right.
Not play video games.
So where are you working now?
I work as a package handler for FedEx Ground.
So you handle many packages.
I handle many packages.
All right. That's great news.
It is.
And you did only you did 6 years or 8 years?
I did 6 years.
In
Good
the Army,
job,
right?
Austin.
6 years infantryman, right?
Yes, I was.
Right on.
6 years and 3 months.
That's
I
good.
like your cool little whips.
What if you had to compare what you do now
Mm-hmm.
with work to working in the Army, would you say it's like the same level of physical stress or completely different?
The thing with what I do right now is it's all physical, but it's paradise. It's paradise compared to being back in the sandbox. And I have basically 3 supervisors, but only 2 of them that I really talk to. And at any given time, I have to talk to one or the other one. I'd rather not say their names. But it's okay. It's a big team. It's camaraderie. After work, I work for a few hours, and then I head over to AWC. It's a pretty sweet schedule.
That's cool. AWC, Arizona Western College. So you're known pretty well around Arizona Western College, huh? Why is that? Why are you known so well?
When you have a certain look, you stand out, and when you'd rather not. When you just say things, when you don't have a filter.
You don't have black nails today.
I don't. It's just, man.
That was probably part of it too, because the last time I saw you at Arizona Western College, you had the black nails, mohawk, you had the pentagram, and you just said whatever the hell you felt like, right?
I've learned to, after Iraq, it was basically a training a pit bull to go to the China shop.
How long ago was Iraq? About 5 years ago? 4 years ago?
2009, 10, 11, 12, 13,
8 years ago, huh?
16, 17. Yeah.
Dang, man.
But it feels like yesterday. I'm careful. Self-discipline, self-control, and just being careful. You know, honestly, not everybody wants to hear what you have to say, and I understand that. I'm an artist. I like to just create things with my words, and turns out it's a community college, so not everybody wants to hear. Not everybody's capable of hearing what you have to say.
So, do you think a lot of it has to do with your beliefs? And what are what if you had to break it down, what do you believe? What church do you follow? Are you a Christian, Catholic?
Okay. So
Jewish? You're Jewish? If you're Jewish, I knew it. Tell.
What was that first part that you asked?
Christian?
No, the first part of the question. You asked something. Oh, does it have to do with a belief system?
Yeah.
It doesn't, because people see you before they know you. So I don't go out of my way to just say, hey guys. For the biggest part of me is literally being a veteran, because I did that from 19 to 25, and I was deployed 3 times before I was 20. By the time I was 24, and I just have a kind of an aggressive personality. So I am what is known as a Satanist. I'm a member of the Church of Satan.
Now, the Church of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever you hear Satanist, a lot of people think either the Church of Satan, or most people think of the Satanic Temple. Are those the same thing, or?
Okay, so no, the Church of Satan was founded in 1969 by Anton Zandreleve, and correction, founded in 1966. The Satanic Bible was authored, penned, codified in 1969 by Dr. LeVay, and the Satanic Temple is roughly a few years old. So
the Church of Satan is what started it all.
Exactly.
Okay.
As a veteran, I don't like fakes, and I like to deal with value.
Mm-hmm.
Think of a Satanist, you think of value. Think of quality over quantity.
Okay, so just to clear the air,
Mm-hmm.
whenever a lot of people hear Satanist, they think of someone who worships Satan,
Mm-hmm.
who goes around wishing evil upon others,
Sure.
and it's almost like Halloween every day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, can you relate to any of that at all, or is it kind of just your own almost like 10 commandments of something that you should follow, instead of I think Satan's ruling the world, I think everyone's going to hell? If you had to dumb it down and simplify it,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say?
So Satanism is a subset of atheism. We don't believe in a higher deity. We don't believe in deities. We don't believe in a grand architect. We don't believe in a first mover. You can call it God. So we step back. So we have a lack of belief in. So that just means atheist. A lack of Greek. So we go a step farther and we claim ourselves as our own highest value. We also we call ourselves atheists. So atheists, we see ourselves as the aware.
As in
I is the most satanic thing you can say. So with us, we see ourselves as a part of nature. To be more specific, we see ourselves as just another animal, a human animal, an intellectual animal. Satan, the first thinker, Satan, the aware beast. So one of our tenets, the Satanic Bible, the philosophy, once you put a philosophy and you add ritual, it becomes what you refer to as a religion. So also it's basically guidelines. So we don't worship Satan. Satan is essence. Satan is essence, a symbol, an archetype.
So it's almost like, well, have you ever practiced Buddhism?
No, I haven't, but I've researched it a little.
So it's almost like you're just kind of following guidelines more than actually worshiping anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's more as I'm going to do what I want to do, regardless of what others think.
Okay.
And as opposed to Christians or other religions, it's more like I'm going to do well for others. That way we all benefit. So with you, it's more of like I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I don't care what others think. I'm gonna do what benefits me the most, and it's kind of like a fight for survival.
In a way, it is, since we deal with nature, animals, classes, phylums are just part of nature. We see ourselves as a part of nature. We're for the strong outweighing the weak. So we build on our strengths rather than build on our weaknesses. And so it's been said that Satanism is called two things, but mainly we'll start with the first thing: the feared religion, and apparently the religion of hatred. This is obviously not true. Feared religion, obviously, it's because it's Satan, the bad guy badge. So with us, it's strength. Now it's this whole PC movement. Everybody's got overt feelings or whatnot. Nature. So our religion is the first carnal religion, and we use magic.
Carnal meaning?
Carnal meaning the religion of the flesh, the tangible. Satan, the ruler of the earth below you, material. So
Okay.
we're a religion of the material rather than the ethereal or the spiritual.
So, okay, so,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, how long have you been a Satanist for?
I've been identifying for about 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And how does your family think about that? How do your friends, your close friends, relatives, how do they feel about that?
So since we talk a lot about value and deserving, I've come out to my sister about it, and I can only tell her so much because she's a really devout Catholic. Let's just say she's a Catholic. All my family's a Catholic, and obviously I'm Mexican, so we just kind of, it's inherited. And I try to do my best to explain it to my dad. That wasn't happening very well. He's a rancher from central Mexico, so it's Satan, the bad thing. And none of my brothers know. One of my sisters know. My mom kind of knows. My dad, let's just say he doesn't know. I try to explain it to him, but he just wasn't having it. And
So are you kind of like holding off on telling the others because of how he reacted?
no, I just if people it's every it's the same thing as just because you have an asshole doesn't mean you should show everybody it. Like if people ask if you have a bracelet, don't go around showing it to everybody. Who cares? It's not until somebody asks you for it. So it's a vampire theory. So I won't go into somebody's apartment until they invite me in. You can call this old-fashioned classiness.
So do Satanists, do they believe in vampires and werewolves and demons and all of these things?
So that's a whole different subject.
Or is that just all too cliche?
It's not. It's
There's like a stereotyping
there's
of
a
the
whole,
Satanists.
you get into subcultures. I have a barely rudimentary very rudimentary knowledge of what is referred to as modern day vampires. My thing is mainly because I'm very, very new into Satanism. I'm about 4 years, something like that.
Wow, that's new to Satanism?
For me, because there's the Church of Satan has existed since the 60s. So the religion of Satanism is 51 years old. And I've been a member of the Church of Satan since almost a year now. And it's kind of new, but once you understand the formula, especially if you're more into science, once you understand the formula, it just kind of comes.
Now, do members of the Church of Satan, do they go out and try to recruit others like Mormons do? Or is that like a...
Fantastic question. No. Satanism is not evangelistic. You have to find... We deal with your own will, free will. So it's up to you to find the Satanic Bible. It's up to you to be like, in the words of Reverend Bird, the Satanic Bible is simply the mirror that only Satanists can see themselves in, verbatim. So it's up to, I don't say, hey, I put the book right here, and I'm like, if you want to read it, go for it. I don't push it on you. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness or a hardcore, anything that's evangelistic. I say, I'm not going to, why would I go, I have coffee. I don't go to somebody else's house and, hey, I have something to sell you. We don't sell you things. We don't proselytize. It's up to you, the individual. With Satanism, it's up to the individual. Satanism is a religion of individuality.
So there is a saying out there that all Satanists are atheists, and all atheists are not Satanists.
Correct.
So is what caught you, like, what caught your attention into it? Who actually like introduced you? Were you into it for a little bit? Did you look into it? Did you go to an event or?
The first time I saw the Satanic Bible was when I was about 16, and it was on a bus on the way to high school. But it literally, it was just too much. I read a couple pages. I just was not a thinker.
You know, I tried to read the Bible once, all the
Mhm.
way through, and I stopped at like the 3rd page.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the heck was going
Yeah,
on.
it's just a lot going on.
And apparently that's the easiest part, Genesis.
Mhm. With the Satanic Bible, I bumped into it again at a friend's house. And the environment wasn't really conducive to a learning environment. So I put it away, and I bumped into it about 3 years later at my mentee's house, my younger brother's house. And I was like, can I borrow it? He's like, yeah, go for it. So I started reading it. It took me about 8 to 9 months to read it and let it sink in. Because it's a small book, but it's a 50 cal blast to your brain. And by the time I was like, okay, I get this. I get it. 80% philosophy, 20% theatrical.
Okay.
So everything, one of our big things is the aesthetics, the way of, the philosophy of beauty and the way something looks. So the way I look, it's use the way you look to gain things, to persuade people, to modify things around you.
Okay. So for instance, if you're a good-looking young man
Mm-hmm.
and you walk into a room full of curious women,
Mm-hmm.
you should use that to your advantage.
Use
Is that
everything
what
that
you're
you
saying?
have to your advantage.
Okay.
Because life's short. One of our tenets is vital existence. I would bring it further and say you never know when you're just gonna. You never know if your taco truck's gonna hit you.
Yeah.
So you gotta live life to its fullest rather than a tomorrow.
So if you had to kill 3 stereotypes about being a Satanist, what would they be?
We don't sacrifice anything because there's nothing to sacrifice to. We don't worship Satan, and we're not baby killers.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is there anything, if you had to say anything out to our viewers about why being a Satanist is a good thing, or how it can change you around, what would it be?
You'll either know that you are a Satanist or you're not. Being satanic is up to the individual. It's not for society. Since we see ourselves as just a human animal, not everybody sees themselves as an animal. They see themselves as spiritual. Friedrich Nietzsche said, the will to power. So I would say not even spirituality, spirit you can break it down to spirit or will. So the will's inside me. Satan is the essence inside me. The ability to assess and judge this from this. So we're elitists. We say we're the outside on top of things. So we're referred to as the alien elite.
Okay.
And we do judge. We're the only religion that freely admits that we judge. By our standards, by saying, this is what I believe in. So we have our own values. Most people don't have a value system, let alone some kind of code. They're just kind of out and about, like a herd.
Let me ask you one quick question. One last question.
Sure.
What religion out there would be the total opposite of what you believe? Is it every religion is pretty much polar opposite, or is there one certain religion out there that you just don't see eye to eye with?
That I don't see eye to eye with. The thing is if you believe in an external deity, if something works for you, then so be it. If it works for you, Satanism works for me. It might not work for you, but it works for me. It does things for me.
And you don't hold hate on anybody. That's different.
I treat hate the way I treat my love, in spoonfuls. So if it's the dot, the point, and then the circle. The circles of power, circles within other circles. So at the top of the circle, any part of the big circle, let's say the circle represents Earth. So if there's somebody on the other side of Earth, I don't know who he is. Let's call him Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Joe is. Joe might be dying. I can't care about him because I don't know who he is. So if I meet...
So basically there's nowhere
Mhm.
is in the Satanic Bible that says everyone who is not Satanist should die.
Correct.
Like many others. Like many other religions out there.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
Again, this is Raul Atondo,
Mhm.
and you're watching America's Worst Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thanks again.
Yeah, man, that was fun, bro.
Appreciate it.
You kept it going. That's fun, man.